Coming up on here on the Pro Wrestling Show, the Elimination Chamber Shakeup, as Shane McMahon makes a rare appearance on Raw to give what's going to be known as the Elimination Chamber a little boost in the ratings. Shane McMahon has Elimination Chamber implication on both WWE and Universal title matches for Raw and SmackDown. We'll get that on the Raw report and the SmackDown report. In the NXT Ring report, NXT gearing up for TakeOver. We're not going to have no NXT Ring report this week, but we'll have the NXT predicted outcome for NXT Vengeance coming up shortly. AEW as well, and we'll show hot topics. August and Morris Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you joined us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Like I said, joining the conversation using the hashtag ProWrestlingPROConnect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is key. Tell a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Alright, we're going to have a Raw report, the SmackDown report, and no NXT Ring report. We'll have a special NXT Ring report for predicted outcome for NXT TakeOver Vengeance. They'll be airing this Sunday, a full NXT TakeOver, the pay-per-view. And we'll have a little hot topics as well. Alright, let's get started with the SmackDown Ring report. On the SmackDown Ring report tonight, SmackDown kicked off with Universal Champion Roman Reigns and his associates Paul Heyman, his counselor, and Jey Uso, his cousin, the Enforcer. Roman waited Adam Pearce in the ring. Adam Pearce had a special message for the Universal Champion. Adam Pearce decreed that Roman Reigns was going to defend his championship in the Elimination Chamber. Well, Roman Reigns didn't like that one bit, and it set well with him. So Roman Reigns told Adam Pearce calmly, collectively, to get him out of the championship match, and there wasn't going to be no Elimination Championship match for the Universal Championship. Now, Roman acknowledged that on Raw. We'll talk about that later on what's going on with Raw, with the Ring report on there with the Elimination Chamber as well. Well, Roman Reigns weaseled and found his way out of it with the help of his advisor, Paul Heyman. Heyman suggested that the Elimination Chamber should be number one contenders match, the right to face Roman after the Chamber. Now, the odds are whoever wins that Chamber, they're not going to be 100%. And Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, everyone knows. Roman Reigns is using his intimidation and bullying on Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce had no choice but to give in. Adam Pearce is no Jack Tunney. Jack Tunney or Gorilla Monsoon. They would have been firm with Roman saying the match is fine. Well, Roman like it or not. But my issue with that is UT's is going to be a Universal Championship match for the Elimination Chamber. Then let it be so. Roman is the top star on SmackDown. Why do folks have to fight him? And then on that same night, he gets a right to defend that championship when he knows that person is not 100%. Now Roman should have did that. It should have been this. It should have been a Universal Championship match, and Roman should have defended his championship against 6 superstars that have been gunning for him. I don't know why they didn't do that, or they could have did the contendership, and the winner meets Roman at the next pay-per-view for Fastlane, or the winner meets him at WrestleMania. If Edge decides to wants to challenge Roman, thus making a triple threat match, it makes it more simple than that. It's simple booking. It's just not hard. I felt like WWE wasted the ball on that tonight. I just felt like that. Also, speaking of that, King Corbin and Sami Zayn win against the Mysterios. It was one of the first qualifying matches. Well, whatever winning team won automatically gets enter into the Elimination Chamber contendership match. Well, it was wrong. It was so good. Ray and Dominic had lost miscues after Sami Zayn pinned Dominic to get the win. So Sami Zayn and King Corbin are in. So we're gonna find out who's next into it. Also, Intercontinental Champion Big E look for new competition. Apollo Crews came out there and said that he wants his rematch against Big E. Big E told him, you had your shot, you lost, now move on to the next line. Shinsuke Nakamura stepped up. Shinsuke did try to win until Apollo Crews interrupted and made a disqualification because he still wanted a shot there because he was tired. Just give this man one more shot and let it be it. Apollo don't get it. Apollo just never will get it. Also, long way in his return, Seth Rollins returned to SmackDown. Seth Rollins coming from his version of maternity leave with Becky Lynch. They had that baby, the little baby girl. Rollins didn't mention that, and the little ticker did say that he was engaged to Becky Lynch. Don't know when that's gonna happen, but you know how they go. They got a kid together. Well, Seth Rollins cut a promo basically asking for more followers to his greater good Messiah. So he still hasn't changed, and the whole locker room, the whole SmackDown locker room left, except Cesaro was last lean, and irate Rollins attacked Cesaro. Daniel Bryan had to defend him off of him. So Seth Rollins is going nuts. Nuts. Anyway, see what Seth Rollins did. It's like with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on both on the same show, how they gonna coexist? They both top heels, they both from the Shield. You know, I guess they stay out each other's way. But Roman outpowering himself. Just, you know how they go. Also, former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley was in the ring. Bayley defeated Liv Morgan by pinfall with the help of what's that girl name? I forgot that girl name. Billy Kay. Billy Kay kind of interruptedly helped Bayley, but she didn't know she was trying to. But you know how they go. Also, Sasha Banks was in the ring with the Street Profit. Well, Sasha Banks was in the ring, and Bianca Belair came out there, and they were still teasing about the WrestleMania match. Was it going to happen or not? Well, the Women's Tag Team Champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler made a rare appearance, and Bayley and Sasha didn't waste no time making fun of her, even make fun of her with that whole comment she did on Raw. She did it again, but this time, you know how that went. But look for Sasha and Bianca tagging together to get their feet wet before they had their match. The women's tag team match between down the road, probably at Fastlane. Also, our Elimination Champion, you never know. And then the Street Profits went against Chad Gable and Otis. The Street Profits won over Chad Gable and Otis. The Street Profits trying to get themselves back to roll the recovery for another shot at the tag team titles, which you have to wait and see. Also, the main event was another qualifying match. It's Daniel Bryan and Cesaro teamed up against the tag team champions Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Now, this was an intense, good match between both teams, but at the end, Cesaro and Bryan won the match, earned themselves into the chamber match. So right now, we have Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, we have King Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. They all did moves on each other. Melee was a brawl between all of them. Kevin Owens came out there last and stunned all his future opponents, because Kevin Owens still won a shot at Roman for the championship. They just did that. They should have just had a singles match one more time. Roman beats him, then he can't get another Universal title match. It's just simple booking. Like Bruce Prichard should be writing this stuff. Like, what I would have done was stand there a little bit longer, have the chamber match with Roman retain, have him and Kevin Owens be last two. He defeats Kevin Owens, and then Fastlane, he gets another shot, and this is his last opportunity. Come on, super booking. But you know how they go. All right, that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's move over to the Monday Night Raw Ring Report. Not like the same as Elimination Chamber on SmackDown for the contendership. This one was make more sense. The title is going to be on the line. Shane McMahon made a rare appearance and announced the Elimination Chamber match for Monday Night Raw side with Adam Pearce. Shane announced that champion Drew McIntyre would defend his championship against 5 former champions, including The Miz, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Sheamus, and who else? The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Sheamus. It's somebody else that's missing. It'll come to Randy Orton. Randy Orton, yeah. Now, these 5 men have an opportunity to become WWE champion once again. They have won the gold before, but them winning the Elimination Chamber is totally different. I don't know. I think Sheamus and The Miz and Randy Orton. Well, it was close with Bray, but you know how that go. But we'll see. We'll see on that. Also, the new AJ Styles went against Jeff Hardy with almost in the ring. AJ won by submission over Jeff Hardy. This reminds you of the TNA days with AJ and Jeff Hardy. Also, the New Day was in action against Retribution. And the New Day defeated Retribution and Mustafa Ali, mad, upset. They're going to have that match between Mustafa Ali and Kofi, where Mustafa felt like Kofi took his spot, and it should have been him when Kofi Mania took on. But you know how that go. Also, Lacey Evans went against Charlotte Flair, defeated her by disqualification after Flair refused to heel to the referee's 5 count, continued to cat Evans in the corner. We also found out that Lacey Evans is the #1 contender for the Raw Women's title over Asuka. Is they setting up a program where Charlotte defeats it's a transitional thing, like Asuka loses to drop it to Lacey and Lacey loses it to Charlotte. It's just that's how it's going to be, but we'll have to see and find out with Lacey Evans and Ric Flair in her corner, teaching her how to become a champion. She could be a champion. You never know. Also, Damian Priest went against Angel Garza by pinfall. Damian Priest with his newfound friend Bad Bunny, the rapper. They're having a feud with Miz and Morrison. Angel Garza was in the crosshairs. Angel Garza now associating himself with Miz and Morrison. So we'll see how that all going to play out. But Angel Garza in the crosshair between that, and he is slapped and turned inside out like an overdrive and loses to Damian Priest. And then I think Charles Caruso said DP. We already know what that led to, what she meant by that. But you know how they go. Also, Keith Lee went against Matt Riddle to determine the #1 contender for the United States Championship. Keith Lee won on Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle had his own problems with Lashley. Lashley went after Matt Riddle and Keith Lee, drilling both of them. Thus, now at the Elimination Chamber is a triple threat match between Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and Lashley. A triple threat match for the U.S. title. So they turned Lashley into a beast indeed. Also, Lana went against Nia Jax. Lana went to try to get her revenge. Lana, at the beginning, Nia was dominant. Lana didn't make too many offensive moves, but the opening was when Nia went over the apron did the leg drop. She said the words that the internet, social media has been buzzing about, and Lana took advantage, pushed Nia through the table at the Lions before said my hole, and went social media and went viral. You know how that went. Speaking of Lana's tag team partner Naomi defeated Shayna Baszler in the match. So you can tell Lana and Naomi are the #1 contenders on the Raw side. You can tell Sasha and Bianca could be the #1 contenders on the SmackDown side. So you know how that's going to be going forward. Drew McIntyre went against Randy Orton. This rivalry renewed once again between the two. And Drew tried to do his best, but Randy did until Sheamus came out there and bro kicked both men. Sheamus looked for newfound aggression, and you can tell Sheamus and Drew, they're gonna have a one-on-one match. That's what they want, the one-on-one match, not be inside the chamber. But that makes more sense than the SmackDown side. They're just holding off on Roman. Alright, that is the Raw Report. When we return, we're going to have hot topics. And all this and more when Pro Wrestling Show returns. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is key. Tell a friend, call a friend they subscribe. So you won't miss a thing. Also on the quick note, we have a second bonus episode of the Pro Wrestling Show. Predict the outcome for NXT Vengeance Day. So look out for that this weekend before NXT TakeOver. Around 5:30-ish, 6:30, 5:30. So look for that coming up your way. All right, let's get to the Impact. No, not Impact. We don't do Impact. We went down. Let's do the hot topic. Speaking of Impact, Impact has a new show called Before the Impact. It's like a little inside edition type Impact show. So Josh Matthews is still around, but he won't be commentating. He'll be like an analyst. So Josh Matthews back on TV once again. That's the host of Before the Impact. It's kind of weird, like your long-time announcer. He could be doing like Michael Cole. Just do like Michael Cole do. Just be the Michael Cole Impact. But you know, they got to give it a try. Matt Striker, I ain't got nothing against Matt Striker, but he's a commentator. So he's a color commentator, not a play-by-play guy. Speaking of that, boxing great Anthony Johnson says that once he's done with boxing, he wants to head WWE. It's like a list of slew of celebrities since Bad Bunny opened the door. Even Cardi B, WWE is in talks with her. Even Bow Wow wants to join WWE. A lot of people want to join in with WWE and get their exposure. So, hey, anything can happen. Look at Tyson Fury. And him and Anthony Johnson is supposed to have a boxing match sometime this summer. So we're looking forward to that. We told you that Keith Lee is engaged to Mia Yim. They announced their engagement. So we're happy for them. Congratulations to the couple. Also, Braun Strowman made his return at the SmackDown before the Royal Rumble. Even in the Royal Rumble match, now Strowman disappeared into TV once again. Strowman says that he had dealt with some illness with his blood. So we're praying for prayers for Braun Strowman at this moment. Also, we know the recently departed, well, we know that the natural Bush Reed had passed away from, COVID. Bush Reed was indeed a living legend. So Bush Reed will be remembered and stuff. Also, WWE signs Christian Casanova, the independent star, who's the Beyond Wrestling champion. They haven't made the announcement known, but they saying there's rumors reports about him signing. Also, in sad news, former WWE star Rusty Brooks passed away. So Rusty Brooks passed away at the age of 58. Prayers and condolences go to Rusty Brooks. Also, Bulldog Jr., the British Bulldog Jr. confirmed talks with WWE after he left MLW. So Bulldog Jr. heading to the WWE. Only time will tell. We have to wait and see with Bulldog Jr. Also, Asuka says that Ric Flair was the most important person, famous wrestling star in Japan. Ric Flair had his bouts in Japan against Antonio Inoki and a lot of somebody, I forgot the other dude name, but you know how they go. Ric Flair is that the nature boy. We'll have more hot topics. Check us out on the bonus predict the outcome special, so look for that for NXT TakeOver. We'll have more. All right, let's move over to the AEW report. On the AEW report this week, we know that Darby Allin made his second TNT Championship defense. He went against Joey Janela. Darby Allin put up a good fight, but George and Eller, I meant to say, put up a good fight, but Darby Allin won. Speaking of that, the AEW Women's World Championship Tournament eliminator started with Layla Hirsch taking on Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa won over Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch a little bit, but I guess you just fighting the dog if you want to fight. So you just had to see what Layla Hirsch went for. Also, Heyman Page and Matt Hardy did a segment together. Matt Hardy was trying to trick Heyman Page to sign some documents to have him in his stable. But Heyman Page was well too smart. Like they say, drunk minds think sober thoughts. Heyman Page knew what was going on. Heyman Page got Matt Hardy to duplicate and do it and made Hardy believe that he signed his. Hardy just didn't see it. So look for this match going at Revolution between Hardy and Heyman Page. So the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho and MJF went against the Acclaim. The Acclaim made fun of MJF with his appearance when he was a little younger on the Rose O'Donnell show. The Acclaim lost to Jericho. Jericho hit the I forgot what the hell Jericho hit that little cold, that little Judas effect with Anthony Bowens. So there you go. Pat went against Ryan Nemeth. Pat defeated Ryan Nemeth with that submission. Sammy Guevara revealed that he wanted to be out of the Inner Circle. It's either him or MJF. Sammy Guevara made it clear, and he decided to bail out and stuff. Tony Schiavone interviewed Sting. Sting in the interview to Team Taz interrupted and asked Taz, told him, "Where's your tag team partner?" And they had galloped Darby Allin into a hog tied him and drove off with Darby Allin. Sting rushed out trying to see what was going on. My God. Also, we know that. We had Kenta, a tag team match with AEW champion Kenny Omega against Moxley and Murder Hart Lance Archer. They brawled throughout the match inside. Even one brawl was they was in the kitchen with Kenta DDT Moxley through the little table, which you serve, the serving table, and then went out there and Moxley got hurt and attacked until what's his name? What's that dude's name? Kenny Omega, and it was Kenny Omega and Murder Hawk. Kenny Omega, Murder Hawk. Kenny Omega kicked Murder Hawk. Murder Hawk picked him up. Well, Kenny Omega tried to pick up Murder Hawk. Murder Hawk needed help from you know who, the Good Brothers, to do the Death Wing, the Angel Wing. He did it and pinned him 1, 2, 3 in that street fight. So also street fight, Don Callis was on commentary as well, leading the charge. They say that Kenny Omega and Don Callis remind people of the new version of Bobby Heenan and Nick Bockwinkel. So we'll have to wait and see on that jury and stuff. Well, all right, that is the AEW report. But on a quick note, I would like to thank Mr. Eric Bischoff for this book. Everyone knows this book, Controversy Creates Cash. Eric Bischoff wrote the book. Eric Bischoff signed the book. You can see right there. Eric Bischoff signed the book. Wow. Okay. I'm so happy. Never thought I would get a book signed by Eric Bischoff. And I thank the 83 Weeks team for sending the book for the contest. And I thank them for that. God is good. And we want to tell you that God is good for you. God is good. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you next week for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show.